let's do this since we have some things to do before treasurer's report. Let's start the meeting. Call to order at 6:03. And if we can post the minutes from last time, and then
I don't think.
if anyone has any comments. It's hard to tell now from month to month what's happening. I can't remember sometimes. So September feels like a long time ago. Do you have it, or you want me to come back to that? Oh, I think you're on mute. Come back to it, Stanford.
I don't think she sent it unless it's on the website. Is it on the website?
Yeah, it's on there.
Okay, right. Okay, let me bring it up on the website.
Okay.
Thanks, Lisa.
Okay, you know what? While Stanford's doing that, I'll just give the principal's report. Then that's okay, huh? We're out of order. It's okay. Because I think Principal Gusman wasn't able to make it today after all. He just had 4 things to share. What the first one is, I hope everyone had a restful fall break. As we move forward into the second quarter, I would like to take the opportunity to express my gratitude to the parents, teachers, staff, and students for their flexibility and grit in returning to in-person school. The year continues to present challenges. However, we will get through it together. Item number 2, or update number 2, October 28th through November 4, our early release Wednesday schedule to accommodate parent-teacher conferences. Please be sure to pick up your child on time every day. A+ will begin earlier. Please check in directly with Manoa Valley Church or Japanese School if they plan to make the same arrangements. Update number 3, there is no school for students on November 5th. It is our professional collaboration day. This year, teachers will continue to work on adjustments to curriculum and begin the process of our comprehensive needs assessment. And the last update from principal is, as a heads up, we're also beginning to prepare for our WASC visit in spring of 2023. The WASC is the body that accredits all schools in the Western region. Parents and community are part of the process, so we may be calling on some of you to participate. I'm sure if anybody would like to know more about any of those items, you can feel free to email Principal Gusman and he'll get back to you as soon as he can. So thank you for posting the minutes that were online. Thank you, Ali, for getting, and Lisa for getting that up. I think if we just scroll through it, right, we can Robert's rules and just say, okay, we approve the minutes from last time. Ali's notes are always very thorough.
Okay. And we can always make changes if needed, if anyone sees any problems with it.
Yes, and I checked the Noelani PTA email and there were no comments, so okay. Does anyone have any comments, feedback? If not, we'll go ahead and approve the minutes from September. So thank you, Ali, for that. Okay, skipping back to item number 3, Treasurer's report. Chris.
Okay, so for last month, the checking, the operating is $97,064.91. The savings is $121,741.94. And the other checking account will be $12,667.05. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we still have a pretty good reserve. So thank you to everyone for everyone's hard work and maintaining that. We'll move over to some old business items. We have just a few committee reports, and I think one of the more exciting ones, I'd like to turn it over to Lori Lay now that Give Aloha month of September is complete for some updates on membership and our matching grant from Foodland.
Thanks, Danny. Hi, everyone. Okay, so Danny and I attended a virtual kind of a closing ceremony or meeting of sorts last week, Friday, to celebrate a successful campaign. And it was attended by different organizations, representatives from all over. And we had, well, it's a total of $6,605.62. Donations to Noelani PTA was $5,322. The matching gift was $1,283.62. So that's how we came up with the $6,605.62. I can forward this to you, Allison. I'm kind of rambling off the numbers. So that was the outcome for the Give Aloha campaign for membership. We currently have 85 members that joined the PTA for this school year. What's nice is that families have many ways of joining. They can join electronically through our website, and they can also print out the hard copy and submit it through the office. So it's been good. It's been challenging kind of to keep track because they're coming like all over, but yeah, successful campaign. So thank you everyone for joining the PTA. Doesn't mean you can't join if you're not a member yet. Yeah, contact me if you have any questions. Thanks, Danny.
Okay, thank you so much. And I do want to share, I think for families that will be, around next year, and I think we'll kind of pass this along. If there are ways to get your family members to help donate towards your school and really kind of help push that number up, it does make a pretty it can make a pretty substantial difference to the overall, matching gift from Foodland. I know that this, it has been really challenging, one, to get the messaging out, and then two, just to really, ask people to make more donations on top of the donations we're probably already making to multiple causes. And so we understand that, but, the free money from Foodland is really special. And Western Union, I should say too, right, is also a big participating vendor in that program. And so, as a token of appreciation, we will pass on Janai Wall's message that if you are at Foodland and you'd like to purchase something to kind of give back, because they've given so much to the community. I think their total, I don't know, Lori, what their
total campaign was $1,822,341. That was the total campaign.
Yeah, so they give a lot back to the community. So if we can, do the same for them, that would be fantastic, and appreciate everyone's participation. 85 members is a super good start. Hopefully we can still build on that as the year goes on. So thank you, Lori, for that. That's very exciting. We outdid our goal. Our goal for family donations during Give Aloha was $3,500. So at 53, great, great overage on that. So thank you for pushing. Okay, so finance report. I'm gonna ask Stanford to pull up like round 7 of kind of this amended budget that we've been looking at. We would like to pose a motion to this group that's attending tonight. We like to vote on approval of this. Ryan is not able to attend, but I did share this with him. I think it's, if you go to the budget detail, do you have the one that's, sorry, next page? It should have the as of date. Okay, that one, Stanford. Thank you. I think the biggest points, or the biggest, kind of clarifications we made this year were, one, really balancing out the income expense line items for the big events like Craft Fair, Mayfair. Because of the COVID pivot, it was unrealistic to expect that we were going to make a ton of money on any of those. So that's reflected, and a lot of the comments in the far right column are dated and either mention what it was previously, when the budget was assumed at the end of last school year, what it was approved at. And, with Mayfair being so up in the air, it would feel easier if we can just eliminate the income part. And if we make money, we make money. But I don't think we can count on a lot. These virtual events have been a lot harder to put on than probably, we thought in the beginning. So anyway, that's kind of that on the income side. And if you look at the expense, we have talked in the past, and when Ryan sent out that first survey to the PTA, about teachers and how much we pay them, et cetera. And I think we've clarified since then that as much as we love our teachers and we would love to do more for them, the state sets these salary guidelines and it's not flexible in those ways. So we kind of change it back to reflect what was on par with what we've budgeted for in the past and closer to what the teachers actually get paid. We did include, you can see lines or items 60 and 61, or I'm sorry, 60 and 61. So Principal Gusman's pretty certain that the Big Island trip is going to happen in the spring, and it will happen in 2 shifts for the 4th and then the 5th graders who weren't able to go last year, which would be really cool. So, we do provide some assistance for that, and that those budget line items are reflected there. I think the other one I want to call out that's maybe not an every year expense is item 67, after school enrichment classes. And there is some income that will flow in from parents who want to participate. But I think a lot of the feedback, or the great feedback on the finance survey, was that PTA members would like to see us focus a lot of our funding on school programs and enrichment classes, services, teacher support, over capital improvement projects. And so if we can figure out how to muster up, with the help of Ayamane, an after school enrichment program for the spring, we are aiming to do that after we get through this first semester. And we'll see what it looks like. If vaccines come out, if things open up a little bit more, we can probably do a lot more. So there's not any kind of detail on that, but just calling it out as, some income and expense. We did hold the technology STEM line item 71 to kind of help build out the idea center. Now, whether or not they're actually going to use that or request the funds from it, it is sort of grant money that we've set aside. It was reduced from what was approved last year by 10,000 just because of the COVID and not being able to make as much income. But we held it at the 35. And then also on the campus improvements. And I think part of, the other discussion we were having in calling it campus improvements rather than trying to itemize every single expense, like the curtains, right? The cafeteria curtains. It gives the PTA much more flexibility in how you want to spend it. If the curtains come in at a smaller budget, you still you can bank the balance and do something else with it. So really the aggregate numbers are the ones that we're kind of looking at this year. Okay, and then I think on the bottom, we held some of the expenses for craft fair. We weren't sure how we're going to use the virtual event. Jogathon, we're assuming that some form of it will happen, so we kept that number. And then Mayfair, I think, you can see some things were eliminated. Again, if we do it, hopefully we can balance our budget, right? So that still at the end of the day, the number we end up with is pretty similar to what you see at the bottom there. So I think the one thing that everyone has called out is we've been running a deficit budget for like the last 3 years, maybe, or something like that. And the numbers look big and they haven't gotten closer to net zero. And so, part of the goal of this year, even if a lot of us aren't going to be here next year, is really trying to figure out how to get, or where can we make up those numbers? Is it really getting rid of all the capital improvement numbers and then giving that to the alumni, or really driving more on the income side to take care of all the expenses, but that's an ongoing conversation. And at the bottom is just a couple of notes. You know, even when we started the year at 237 and we have a deficit budget this year of the 84,000 to budget, you know, the ending balance is still going to be around 150,000. And so I think when some parents look at that, we still feel like it's justifiable to spend money on capital improvements because that's what the money's been raised for, to do things for the school. I know that we've talked about, you know, saving it again for programs and whatnot. We don't have to spend the capital money. But if we were to spend everything on this budget, you know, we still end up at the 152. So I think this is as good of an amendment as we're going to get, you know, with the COVID pivot and what we know as of today. I would like to put, I don't know, a motion out there, I guess, to vote on this budget and approve this amendment, and then we can just go forward from there. We've cleaned it up a lot. We've tried to, again, aggregate some of the numbers to make it easier for PTA boards in the future to manage through it. Yeah, that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions or comments on the overall philosophy of it or some of the numbers? Okay, if hearing none, can I get a motion from someone to approve? Okay, so I see Waylon, motion to approve. Can we get a second? Okay, thank you, Lisa. So Lisa, Imai, second the approval. So we'll pass that budget amendment. And thank you very much to everyone's hard work, because we had a lot of discussions about, you know, that back and forth. So appreciate that. Moving on to alumni association update or alumni update. Kristen Brummel wasn't able to attend today, but she did send out an email to former active alumni families, faculty, and staff. We did put out a questionnaire to see who would be interested in participating. And we did kind of emphasize that the alumni group is part of the Noelani PTA, because in order to manage the funds and to have it come in under the nonprofit, we didn't want them to start their own program. It wants to be, you know, kind of a committee of the PTA, and there's always going to be a PTA liaison to the alumni group. But the idea is that they could help us maybe raise money and again, kind of help build up some of that income side. So when we do capital improvement projects, you know, hopefully we can grow that, because that base is so much bigger than our school population, that even if we, you know, collected $10 from a lot of the alumni, I think we could still make up some of our losses that way. So we're continuing to work on that. We got 4 strong positive responses back. We sent it to a small group to try to get more buy-in up front. And we are going to follow up with some of those people that haven't responded yet. So we'll have another update in the coming months. But
Sorry,
it's kind of
Danny.
exciting to get it off the ground. Yes.
Sorry, real quick. Sorry, I was adjusting the computer. You had the motion to approve, but then you just got to ask for the vote real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. I'm assuming everyone's gonna probably say, you know, yes, but
Okay,
just
thank you very
real
much.
quick. Sorry about that.
Okay, so Waylon, motion to approve, Lisa second. So can we just say if anyone is opposed?
You could say all those in
Okay.
favor. Say aye, or then
Okay.
if any opposing, yeah, you can
If anyone's
raise your hand.
opposed, raise your hand or throw it in the chat. Okay, so now hearing none. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you very much, Stafford. All right. Okay, so now that's approved. Okay, that was the alumni update. Sorry, hold on one second. Room parent update from Steph. Question came up about what room parents should do with the PTA class roster, and it was decided that they would send the roster to the room parent liaison staff. She will compile it and share it with the PTA. That's the one that says do I want the PTA to contact me or not? I think we're going back and forth about, how that information was going to roll up. It used to go through the teachers, but we're trying to eliminate some of that extra work for them. So we talked to Brian about it. She has received some of the rosters, not all yet, and will get them compiled and sent to the PTA as soon as possible. Her last item is a reminder that students cannot bring in treats or items to share with others for holiday or events. So right now, there's not a whole lot for room parent organization to do at this time. But hopefully, again, vaccines are around the corner, and we get there before the end of this calendar year. That'll change a lot of things going to second half of the year. Okay, so that was a room parent update. We did get Megan Johnson. I don't know if she's on the line today, but she did step up and say that she will shadow Steph and she will take over as room parent liaison next year. So thank you very much to Megan. Craft fair update. I saw Toby's on the line, so I'd like to share, let him share about some of the restaurant partners. We do have 15 crafters that have signed up. We are posting photos and descriptions to the website now. We're going to make the online store go live on Saturday, November 6th, which would have been our actual date. And we're going to run it through Saturday, December 4th. Then we'll have, some time, we'll take it down, compile all the sales numbers, and then let the vendors know what they need to drop off to us in terms of product. We'll collect it early the following week, package it up either Thursday, December 9th or Friday, December 10th at the school. And then we'll distribute it at a drive-through, event on Saturday, December 11th. That's the general update. And Toby, are you able to talk? Give an update. Oh, there you are. Thank you.
Wait, let me get, gotta change my background.
No need, it's okay.
So basically, Danny's asked me to help out with restaurant coordination, something that we're doing new this year. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be doing a few things. We're trying to work with a lot of local restaurants in the area. So Feast is one of our restaurants partners. If you guys know that, they're right up the corner. We're gonna be doing selling a pre-selected bento with them. It'll be a nice bento. It might include some filet mignon and some really nice stuff for it. And so we're working out with them in terms of how they will actually take in. We might actually have links to our website where you guys can purchase. So this is gonna be exciting. I just want to be honest with you guys. Actually, Manoa Elementary has been doing things with Feast similar. So I think it's pretty exciting that we can get involved with. So they've sold quite a lot, not only to the parents, but also to alumni. So I think it's going to be exciting as we start expanding our fundraising to be able to work with the restaurants in the area. I'm also in touch with Off the Hook Poke Market. So they are working on some type of promotional product for us. And our last partner will be, if you guys know Nabiya Maido in the Market City, they actually do a lot of school programs in terms of fundraising using these microwavable nabe bowls. And so we negotiated a special price with them that we can actually start selling online, and so we can make it. So all three of them are going to be fundraisers for us, and hopefully this is something that not only we can do for the December craft fair, but moving forward, maybe even May and any type of event. So I think Feast is really interesting just because they've been working already with Manoa on different programs. And again, this is brand new for them too, right? It's only happened during the pandemic. And so this is something that is pretty interesting. So if you guys know any other restaurants, we're specifically looking for restaurants within, I guess, a half a mile from our school. That's our preference. So if you have any direct contacts, let Danny know and we can add on. But we're not trying to make too much. We're just trying to keep it really a handful of restaurants to try it out. And we're really excited to get these partnerships going together. They're going to be promoting on their social media. And so we're going to be having a new way of fundraising. So thanks, Danny. And maybe you can talk a little bit about Chocolea.
Yep. So thank you so much, Toby. So yes, Chocolea is happy to participate again. It's been wonderful to work with them. we are trying to work out what the special will look like this year. They have sent me kind of a link to their holiday store. And so there are some options. They're going to allow us to take, I think, 10% off, which is really amazing. They really appreciate, again, kind of the partnership we've had. And, if we can offer 2 different sort of holiday special sets, and we're debating about whether or not to package it with the tote bag again or not. But either way, there's a lot more availability on product this year. But it'll work similar to last year where, we'll put in the orders and then we'll pick it up likely on the Friday, hopefully start at the school cafeteria refrigerator on that day and then distribute it on Saturday. So it's super exciting. They have like a lot of stuff, a lot of yummy things going on. And I think this is such a good balance of, craft and diversifying, right? Even our offering for this year. So excited to do that. And then let's see, any questions on craft fair? We haven't had a meeting in a while. It's my fault. I'm trying to keep myself together here, but I will schedule one shortly as we kind of round out all of these details. And it's kind of been happening in the last week or so that a lot of things got firmed up. So it's good timing to get everybody else on a call. Thanks to Kristen Nakamura for helping out with all the flyers and Lisa Imai with social media and stuff too. So that's been super helpful. That's also the big push that we're doing this year, right? Is the social media, as Toby mentioned, really trying to make use of that communication piece. And if no more questions on craft fair, move on to new business. So again, I don't think, is Megan on here? Any chance?
Yeah, she's on.
There she is.
There.
Okay.
Did I go get Eric?
Okay, you want to bring Eric?
Yeah, I'll go get him. I'll be right back.
Okay. So we have this cool idea to partner up with Hawaii Theater for Youth and try to do like some kind of winter showcase before the Christmas holiday or before the winter break. And if we can pair it up with a bento offering or some family pack offering, it'll be super great. So many thanks. And we're so happy to have Eric, who is the artistic director for HTY, as a Noelani parent. Thank you, Eric, for everything. And if you'd like to give everyone an overview of what we had discussed, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks, Danny. I just wanted to start off by saying I'm so proud to be a gecko. And, I think the PTA and everything that this school does, supporting, obviously, my livelihood is creativity and helping kids, learn about the stories of Hawaii and have a more, creative education. And Noelani has impressed me for so many years, and we're so happy to be a part of this community. So we're thinking about how we could make this special in this fall, even at this time of it's hard to gather lots of people together in big groups. And so Danny and I were talking about an idea of, we have a bunch of digital offerings, and what I'm going to do is work with Danny to put together a family package that would be age specific. So the younger students might choose to watch one of our younger shows, and some of the older elementary students could watch some of the older digital content we have coming out. And we've got a lot of different things. So your family could, you can decide if you're a Musubi Man family or a Stories of Oceania family. And it might just be a fun way to kind of celebrate together, even in our own homes. The thing I will say is all of these performances come with a study guide, which I'm not saying you need to have a study night at home, but it is fun. I just invite the parents. There'll be additional resources that if there's some conversation or some fun activities that you're looking to do, there'd be resources around that as well. And we depend on organizations like the PTA to help. We're hoping to be back in the spring in live performance. We're actually performing at some schools already, and we think that's just going to pick up and go forward. But in the meantime, we'd love to do this little project. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Oh, so no, thank you so much. The collaboration couldn't have been more fortuitous for us that you're a family at our school. And I do have to mention that what, Hawaii Theater for Youth normally charges is $5 a student. And I think we do need to work through some of those details because obviously we don't have that much budget, but we do have a line item for family events and hospitality at $2,500. And what I'd propose to Eric is, because we don't have the ice cream social and we don't have trunk or treat and we don't have keiki swap meet at this point, and other things. If we can take some of that budget, like say half, right? Because now we have nothing in the fall. We give HTY, $1,250 as our donation, and they give us the link. There are going to be more students that can benefit from that video than we would normally be able to do under normal circumstances. So I think it's a great idea. We don't have to vote on it tonight, but we'll bring the details to the next meeting. We'll hammer everything out and send it out. But then adding on, sort of like a family dinner night. And if you want to, buy into like a bento program, you can pick it up. Maybe it's a Friday after school. And I think those things are very possible. But again, it's just another way to engage and try to get people more interested and involved with PTA. And this is what the PTA can do for the school community. So many thanks to that. I'm super excited.
Yeah, thank you. And I think it will be a fun evening. And then I just want to say, because I know there's some teachers on as well. We can also extend that into the classroom a little bit with some of these digital offerings. And I'm happy to work with you in your classroom and the families. But I think this is one of the things that makes Noelani so special from my point of view. And to be able to share it with families, often these events just happen in the school day, field trip or whatnot. So it's going to be fun to share it with the families as well. I'm going to go work on my spelling words and pass it back to Megan, and mahalo.
Hey, thank you very much, Eric and Megan. Definitely appreciate that. So let's see. Anyone have any questions or thoughts around that idea? Okay. So we will bring details next time and we'll put it, I guess, to a formal vote because we're going to have to use funds to do that. Let's see. Okay, under new business, the other thing that I wanted to bring up was this idea of after school enrichment programs for the spring. We've done it sporadically in the past. It has required a lot of teacher input and teacher time. And right now, I see Kristen's on the line and, I'm sure you guys are fully burnt out. We do have some budget to do something, and whether it's bringing in another, outside resource to help conduct a class. Maybe it is a theater class. Maybe it's, I don't know if art shop will be back in the spring. I don't know what the rules will be, but if we can do it virtually and have the kids, stay on campus and participate in separate enrichment classes, that would be a great idea to supplement. People have expressed a lot of interest in those types of programs, but again, my guess is that the school is really tapped out at this point. If anybody has any ideas or would like to work on it, please feel free to let me know. I'd be happy to talk to you, and not that it has to be a whole separate committee, but definitely could use somebody to help, with communications and working with, Miss I think she used to run the one that we did with the teachers after school. And basically, families would pay a fee and the PTA, I don't know if it was, we would match it or we would be the pass through. I can't quite remember how this works.
It was
But
a
the
pass
PTA will
through.
help. the pass through.
Yeah.
So if the PTA can help fund portion of it, especially if we have to bring in an outside resource or what have you, this particular school year. But if the PTA can help spearhead the ideas and the programming of it, I think that offer is a lot, that time and energy. So again, if anyone is interested, please feel free to let me know. Let's see. And that's all I had today. It was pretty short and sweet, but we covered a lot of updates. This year is feeling like it's flying by. I can't believe it's, mid-October. I think for Halloween, for everyone to stay safe. I know that they're opening up, right? Again, you can have outdoor events. And so, again, can't wait to get our kids sort of vaccinated, and maybe the school will open up a little bit more in the spring. So if anybody has any questions, I know that Principal Gusman and I have had a few conversations about it. They're doing everything they can, within their state provided parameters and their budgets and their time, allocation. They really are doing their best to provide a safe environment for our students. And so wanted to just kind of reiterate that part. He and I have spoken about it a few times in the last month. Any other business items that anybody would like to discuss? Anyone have any questions, comments?
I just wanted to say for box tops, if anybody, I don't know if anybody has the clipped ones, the little traditional ones. If you send it to the office, that would be great, because the deadline, we have to mail it in to get credit for it by November 1st. So if you could if you have any, send them in to the office. That would be great. Thank you. And also scan your receipts if it has the new digital one. If you have the app, it's super easy. We get 10 cents for each one. So if you're buying those things already, and tell your family to. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Hi, I have a question.
Hi.
I saw that there was a line item about curtains in the cafeteria. Could you just explain a little bit more about that, what that is? And then also, I saw in the last PTA minutes that there was some discussion about COVID surveillance testing at the school. Is there an update to that as well? You may not know.
Hi, Samantha. Yes.
Hi.
Okay, so the first question about the curtains. So my understanding is the curtains in the cafeteria that are up on the stage, the red ones, are a bit worn, and there was a quote out there to have them replaced.
Oh, this is not COVID related. This is just.
No, it's not
Okay.
COVID related. No,
Maybe
no,
they were doing something
it's
like
pure
that.
capital. Yeah, it's purely a capital request. So, and it was from.
Cool. So bad news now.
Okay. So that's kind of.
That's okay.
that
You
answers
can talk about that too, but that was funny. I thought maybe they were like putting. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, no, that none of our budget line items are COVID related. Yeah,
Okay.
the
That's fine.
school is taking care of all that. And I think, we had talked about the testing issue. I know you and I have emailed a little bit, and I talked to Principal Gusman. Right now, I think out of all the schools that have testing kits, maybe like 2% are doing testing. And, the one that happened to be publicized was Waikiki Elementary. They are working 7 days a week, way overtime. And that's not going to be possible at our school. And it's not possible at the vast majority of schools is how I understand it. So what I think, though, that is super important for us to share, and Principal really wanted to emphasize this part, or he did emphasize it when he spoke to me about it, is that they've been following all the protocols since the beginning of school. And again, knock on wood, we have not had any internal spread, right? I think it'd be different if we were having issues on campus and not able to control it. Yes, we've had cases that have come onto campus, but have been quickly, dealt with and not extended out into classrooms. Does it affect people around you? Yes. I think that's inevitable in a lot of workplaces and schools, et cetera, where there's just a lot of people. And so for all of us to stay safe and vigilant outside of the school environment is important. But right now there is no capacity to do the testing.
Okay, so not every school has to do it. It's a school by school choice at the moment.
Right. The
Okay.
kits were given out, but you know, the way it was explained is the kits are given out, and there was some kind of offer of assistance to administer the testing. And then that offer of assistance disappeared. And so without it, there's no way for the school to run all of it.
Seriously, you have test kits that are sitting there that are not being used with
They
school?
have test kits.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. No, not even on your part. It's just like the whole thing. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
it's
too
not,
bad.
it has not been an easy thing. But it was, the way it was handled was very difficult for the schools, and nobody.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
not blaming you.
Yeah.
It's just a pity that they're sitting there without proper use. And no, I understand it's a difficult situation, but that's because they
Yeah.
don't last forever. They expire.
Correct.
So yeah, okay, that's
Correct.
that's
So there is an understanding that it's feeling wasteful. I mean, I think that's a pretty common sentiment. Again, I think when the request for assistance to administer the test went out and they got a no back, they're like, okay, a lot of schools just said, okay, we can't do it then, right? And they actually thought they were going to get either National Guard support or something else, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I do remember that they were talking about. Yeah, and they did pull back on that. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, thank you.
I think the difference with, the vaccine program, once the 5 to 12 year or 5 to 11-year-olds or whatever it was is approved, the school already has a contract with Kaiser. Kaiser will administer through the school, for those who would like to sign up. And so that agreement is already in place. So that was the only one, but the testing was
That's good to know. So Kaiser will actually come to Noelani to distribute vaccine. That's great, actually. That's fantastic.
That makes it a lot more manageable for, I think, a lot of us trying to get these things done.
And you don't have to be a Kaiser member for that to happen. It's
Correct.
just a partnership with that. Kaiser happened to be the one that partnered with Noelani. It wasn't sort of anything related to insurance.
Thanks for that. So thanks for that. I hope that answers your question, Samantha.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. Anybody else? Okay. Well, thank you for the very precise meeting. 6:45. We'll call it a day. Again, Craft Fair will send out some updates after to that committee. And thank you to everyone for your continuing hard work. Appreciate it. Good night.